let's check in with Brittany and see what she has to say. All right, so let's share the screen. And again, these were not interviews that we were able to talk to her, but everybody here, I think, knows at this point what's going on. Okay. All right. So let's hear from Brittany. Okay.
Hi, Brittany, and welcome to Rob Has a Podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Ooh, yes.
Now, first question. What do you plan to tell the jury about the remaining players?
Oh, there we go. One of my jury questions got through.
They said the J
I wish
word.
I had more info to share with them, but literally they were all so locked in on the fact that I was going to leave this week that we pretty much just played cards for a full week straight.
We're getting a lot of diary room voice, Brittany.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Okay, so they play cards all week.
And there wasn't much to discuss. I think the one thing that I will bring to them is the fact that I found out right before I left that they did have a final three, something like a breakfast burrito club. I mean, Turner made some pretty great burritos, so I'll give them that. But they had a final three. They were locked in. I was just the last person who needed to leave to solidify that.
Taran, I heard the mention of a breakfast burrito on the episode recently. What is the breakfast burrito club? What's the origin of that?
It's not really a thing. Their final three, it was mostly a fake thing. It's interesting to me that that Brittany really feels like. I mean, I guess this is what we should have expected. Something to note in Julie's extended interview with Brittany, after she saw the goodbye messages, she seemed to have like a reaction that was like, Taylor's goodbye message was like, hopefully you're gonna help me with the jury, which is what she said she was gonna do. And her reaction was, Julie was like, what do you think? She was like, I don't know. I mean, maybe the best person who played the best game should win. And it was very different than like what she seemed to think. It seems as though like Turner's talking about having a final three with Taylor has really shaken her, which is, again, not surprising because the previous week when she was like worried about Taylor turning on her and not talking to her enough, it's possible this has really gotten her thinking that like, because that final three is not a real thing for Taylor.
Yeah.
But I think she might think that Taylor's lying to her about that.
So she's feeling kind of like, oh, Taylor felt like that I could go be more useful to her on the jury than to be somebody who sits in the final two. Like I lost my chance at even coming in second place because Taylor wants to go send me into the jury house to go do her dirty work.
Yeah, I think there's a world where she feels like Taylor is palling her and saying like, oh man, I really wanted to keep
appalling.
But Turner is joshing her and giving her the like, well, no, we actually had a final three. But in reality, that was a fake final three on Taylor's end.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Once she like reunites with everybody, how she's feeling about that. Okay. Question number 2 for Brittany.
Now, Brittany, why do you think the women's alliances this season didn't seem to work out?
Okay. Kind of read the facial expression there. Let's see.
Oh man, wouldn't I like to know?
Guys, it's not looking good.
It's one of those things. I too came into this house thinking this is the season. I want to see it happen. Like girls all the way. It should have been a red flag for me that, hey, we're good with girls, but not Nicole and not Taylor can be involved. That should have been the first red flag that said, this thing's not going to work if we're already excluding people. Luckily enough, I felt like, well, if you don't want to be friends with Taylor, I do. That I'm going to go and create a friendship with her myself. I think it's one of those things where it's so easy to say, okay, there's this unifier, or there's this thing that we all share in common. We're all women. But at the end of the day, it takes some time to get to know personalities, get to know who you jive with. And we all know, just because you're both women or you're both men, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get along personality wise. And those things are really what makes who you want to work with best in the game. So I guess we'll never know how it would have been if girls would have made it all the way, but I'm very happy that I end up finding people like Taylor, like Michael, that I could work really closely, and the rest of the leftovers could work really closely with in this game.
Might need a Brant Steele of what if girls made it.
What if Paloma doesn't leave?
Yeah, what if Paloma doesn't leave is a valid question.
Right? I mean, she probably would have left anyway with the twist, but
with which
backstage twist.
Backstage boss, yeah, you think she would have been out. So
yeah, I think I mean if Paloma never starts spiraling, I think that Alyssa leaves. But
you know what? Because in my mind, I was like, well, Taylor got lucky, but they already had the backstage boss where Taylor was going to get voted out, and then Taylor was going to just like blow through that the thing that took Jasmine out.
Course,
the obstacle course. So I guess Taylor really was never ultimately in danger in week 1.
No, yeah, not with the backstage twist.
But it would have been even worse for her probably when she got back in the house. Like, we voted her out, and then she took out Paloma.
Yeah,
but it would have been worse.
Would have been worse. Danny would have been like, "You took out Paloma instead of you made her leave.
You did this." Okay, last question for Brittany.
And then Brittany, last question: what's your biggest regret in the game?
What do you think, Taran? If you had to guess.
I think she's probably going to say that she wished she had been more open about her profession, but I'm hoping she gives us something more game related.
Okay.
I think my biggest regret was the fact that, oftentimes I had a lot of conversations where it felt bogus to me. It felt like fluff. You kind of nod your head and you're like, okay. And in your mind, it's going straight to spam, right? In those instances, I think what I should have done is gone to Michael, gone to Taylor. Oh, I did go to Michael, but gone more to people that I'm working with and say, hey, here's what's happened. Just want you to know that it's fluff, but here's what I heard. Perhaps even going to Monty, since this obviously caused him to, be so distrustful of me.
Taran, what is she referring to?
So she got into a bunch of trouble during Michael's final HOA train.
Yeah. Okay.
Where she got caught talking to a lot of different people, and I think that's actually a pretty fair self-criticism there. Like she wasn't super communicative about a lot of the information that she was getting across the season all the time with her allies, and that did cost them. Like, for instance, when she was trying to convince Michael to take the shot at Turner and Monty, she had tons of history of knowledge of Taylor telling her Monty is targeting Michael, but she wasn't always being super forthright about that with Michael. And so I think that, not having that history of having her told him that, it wasn't able to land as hard.
Okay. All right. Let's hear the rest of this.
Gone to those people and said, okay, here's what I heard. Just want you to know that it's fluff. Realizing, I guess, because I just knew that it was so bogus that it's like, why even waste their time? Why even, start these theories? But other people were doing that. And so by proxy of me not doing that all the time, it caused more suspicion at me. I would have hoped that people would have given me the benefit of the doubt and came to me and said, here's what I'm hearing. Can you explain yourself? But that did not happen. So I wish I would have kind of been preemptive with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Brittany.
Ooh, thank you.
They have to muster up that enthusiasm for every interview.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you get DR voice. DR voice is the
They're used to it.